Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brendan Plays. This is Total Extreme Wrestling for our All Elite Wrestling save. Week 3 of September. Very close to our version of AEW's Grand Slam pay-per-view. And that will be an event where we will see this man make his AEW debut and in-ring debut. He's going to team up with CM Punk to take on the Young Bucks in what will be a massive match. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be great. So some big stuff coming right around the corner. Bryan Danielson very, very close to making his debut. And yeah, we're already seeing some massive growth in the company, which is great to see. We're currently 72 in the Southeast now in terms of our popularity size. We were at 70 at the beginning of the month. So that's really just a huge growth from where we were already in such a short space of time, and that's because we are seeing a huge increase in our show quality. Rampage 72, Dynamite 76, All Out 87, 82 Rampage, 79 Dynamite, 72, 85. So we're consistently getting above that 70 plus mark, which is going to allow us to really grow the company. Now, of course, that scandal that we had early in the series, that's gone. The shackles are off. We're able to start growing the company a lot more, and there is a legitimate chance we may be able to compete with WWE in terms of their size at some point in this series. I don't know when, but if we continue to grow at this rate, you know, +2 every month, it may be sooner than we think. So we need to have another big episode here today. We need to try and keep the momentum building into Grand Slam, and obviously our storylines heading into the pay-per-view. Adam Page and Park one-on-one for the TNT Championship. Looking forward to that. Cody Rhodes, MJF. That's not going to take place just yet because we've got Sammy Guevara as a pit stop along the way. FTR and Jurassic Express, they're going to fight it out. Jade Cargill and Camille. Malakai Black has been dealing with the Inner Circle. He's got Darby Allin now in his corner as well. So we're going to see Darby Allin and Malakai Black taking on Jericho and Jake Hager on this episode of Dynamite. That'll be our main event. The Men of the Year will take on the Wild Things. So as we mentioned, CM Punk's currently feuding with Kenny Omega and the Elite, who will transition that into the Young Bucks match with Bryan Danielson. Brandy Rhodes, she's currently in a situation with the Inspiration. So we had Britt Baker in there. That's obviously going to be taken out. It was Britt and Brandy. Now that's going to be the Inspiration, of course. That is Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee. So looking forward to seeing that. Probably what will be our biggest women's tag team match that we've had. Serena Debbs, Ruby Soho, we're about to start that one as well. That'll be a way we're going to introduce Ruby Soho into the roster, and Team Taz and Best Friends in a bit of a lower to mid-card feud. So that's kind of what we've got on the go at the moment. We may add a few more things to that. Obviously, we've got such a big roster now. You know, there's so many things and so many people you're going to try and factor in. A few other things. Speaking of women's tag teams, we're deciding we're going to turn Penelope Ford back to being a heel again. I know she had a very short run as a babyface. I like the combination of Penelope and the Bunny that we've seen in real life, so I think we're going to replicate that. We're going to keep Mel on board though, and we might create a little bit of a stable. Might maybe call them Super Bad or something like that, or Super Bad Girls. I don't know, something like that. But maybe create a bit of a stable there, and that can be a women's stable that we can work with. Maybe add more members to it down the line as well, because that's probably something we're missing a little bit. We have tag teams now in the women's division, but not a lot of, you know, not really any stables, I suppose. So that's a chance for us to do something a little bit different in the women's division. As you can see, no stables here in the women. So that might be something we may look to do. Not sure if there's a member we could add in. I don't really know. But I think Penelope Ford, she's kind of floundering. Putting her in there with the Bunny, that can be our tag team, and Mel can kind of be the heater. She can be, you know, the enforcer of the group. I think that will kind of work, and Mel's not a great in-ring worker, so that's probably the best way to use her if we have to have her under contract. How long her contract got? So we can cancel at any time, but you know, we've got her. We might as well try and use her in some capacity, and I feel like that's probably the best way to do it. You know, obviously Jamie Hayter, she could be an option to join the group as well. In fact, she could be even a better option as the enforcer instead of Mel. So, and she's obviously a lot younger and a lot better, so that might work as well, and that could be a great trio. In fact, now I'm kind of thinking about it, I feel like that would be a better option because we haven't done anything yet with Jamie Hayter. We haven't aligned her with anyone just yet. She's done a few spots here and there where she's been kind of linked with Nyla Rose for a little bit, but nothing set in stone. So that could be something we may do. Definitely with the women, you know, there's some rumors that they might be introducing a secondary women's championship in real life. I think for us, a women's tag team championship would be where we would go next. Obviously, we need to add probably 2 to 3 more tag teams to really have a legitimate division, because at the moment we have 4 tag teams in the women's division. That's fine. We definitely need a couple more, but you know, thinking about maybe adding a stable there would probably boost up some of the women's tag teams, I suppose, and kind of make the division a little bit more legitimate if we have a few stables, a few groups going around the women's division. Also gives some things for the women to do and some people to be involved with, so we can use more people at once, which is always a positive. That's one of the great things about AEW, is most people are kind of in a group or a stable. They're always in some sort, they're involved in some capacity in some sort of group or tag team, and that allows so many people to get used every episode, and we've got them all under contract, so we may as well utilize that. And I think that's a real positive for us if we can try and implement that into the women's division. Alright, with that being said, Dynamite is all booked, so let's jump into it and check out the results for this week. Alright, on the pre-show, Serena Debbs took on Julia Hart for a 32 rated match. Serena 37, Julia 15. Easy win for Serena to pick up here as we start to really get her some momentum building with her new heel turn. We had an 10-person tag team match, if I can count. We had Best Friends, all 5 members of the Best Friends, including Chris Statlander, and then we had the Butcher, the Blade, the Bunny, and Angelico and Jack Evans. So lots of people involved here. I liked having the women involved because obviously, you know, got guys like Orange Cassidy and Best Friends, they're pretty over. So having them in a match with the women will certainly potentially boost up their popularity or give them a chance to. So that's kind of what we're looking for here. Best Friends did pick up the win in the end. Chris Statlander pinned the Bunny. TJ cut a promo for 33, and to kick off the main show, alright, so CM Punk, he challenges Kenny Omega. So he says, look, you know, you guys keep fighting me, you're outnumbering me, let's do it again. If you want to fight me again, let's do it. I beat you once, I can do it again. And Kenny Omega says no. The Young Bucks, they offer to fight CM Punk if he can find a partner, because everyone else, you know, Colt Cabana, he's down, you know, he's out of the picture. Is there anyone else that even likes CM Punk? You know, CM Punk's brand new here at AEW. He doesn't know anyone here. No one wants to team up with CM Punk, so they're pretty confident he's not going to find a partner. So now the challenge has been set. Can CM Punk find a tag team partner? 100 rated segment here, which is fantastic, and continues this really, really good storyline we have right now. Adam Page took on Peter Avalon, and I don't know how he did it, but he had a 75 rated match with Peter Avalon. My God, Adam Page, that is ridiculous. 75, Page 82. Peter Avalon was pretty good though, 46. That's not bad for him. 7-minute match, quick win for Page to build him some momentum. And we had Sammy Guevara backstage informing Chris Jericho that he took another match tonight and he's not going to be his tag team partner against Malachi Black and Darby Allin. 86 rated for this one. So more dissension here between Sammy and Chris Jericho. You know, Chris Jericho was kind of banking on Sammy Guevara being his tag team partner tonight to take on Malachi and Darby. Instead, Sammy Guevara, he's more focused on building momentum and working on his singles wrestling to try and defeat Cody Rhodes, which is fair enough. He wants to become AEW World Champion. He's got a world title match coming up. He does not want to be in a tag team match. Instead, focusing on singles. And Jericho, as you know, is not going to be happy with that. And Sammy Guevara did pick up the win over Matt Hardy in a 69 rated match. Sammy Guevara 84, Matt Hardy 61. With the Hardy Boys, I'm in a difficult situation. They're out of the mix. I'm not really looking to push them. They're at that point where they're kind of the old act that I'm maybe going to use to put over the young guys coming through. Maybe I could do Matt Hardy and maybe turn him heel and kind of do the Hardy brand that he's got, you know, the HFO. Maybe we could do that. I'm not really that interested in doing that. Jeff Hardy, I'm not, you know, because he's not, I don't really know what to do with Jeff. He's been really up and down. At some points, I've been really thinking about releasing him. So I'm not going to do that, but certainly the Hardys as a tag team, they're out of the mix at the moment. and they might be just used as a couple of top guys to put over the next guys coming through for the time being, which could be their purpose anyways. MJF, he has an interview with Tony Schiavone. He says he's far from impressed by Sammy Guevara, and he believes this match is a waste of time. He knows that Cody's going to beat Sammy, and he just believes it should be him getting his title match right now instead of having to wait and wait and wait. 79 for that one. Jade Cargill and Nyla Rose teamed up to take on Camille and Big Swoll. 42 rated match. Best of the match was Nyla Rose, 44, Jade 36, Big Swoll 31, Camille the worst of the match, 28. So not great there in the end. Obviously trying to build towards this Jade and Camille match that it's just going to be more of a spectacle. It's not going to be a great in-ring match, but it's something to really put Jade Cargill over as this real enforcer, this huge threat, I suppose. 42. Post-match, Camille and Big Swoll, they did manage to fend off an ambush from Rose and Jade for 37. We had FTR. They promised to finish the job and take out Jurassic Express once and for all. So Luchasaurus has been out injured. He's back. Well, FTR, they promised to get the job done this time and make sure that he stays out. 59 for that one. The Pinnacle took on the Varsity Blondes for 59. Not a great match. Yeah, MGF 88 was great. Wardlow 63, Pillman Jr. 39, and Griff Garrison 31. Yeah, I mean, obviously MGF was excellent. Wardlow was good, but still only a 59. I guess maybe I'm expecting a little bit too much, but just an easy win for the Pinnacle to get them on TV, keep their presence known, keep MJF getting wins, and, you know, boost up the Varsity Blondes a little bit, get them in a higher profile match. Miro defeated Shawn Dean in a 55 rated match. Miro 80, Shawn Dean 18. Yeah, so Miro beat him in 3 minutes, yeah, just dominate him. So quick squash match. Miro was great, but the match itself was, yeah, mediocre. I mean, Shawn Dean only 18, it's not going to be that amazing. Post-match though, Miro says he's ready to take out the AEW roster until he gets what he deserves. So we're starting to kind of, you know, rebrand Miro a little bit. We're thinking about turning him heel. We're starting to maybe get him down that road of potentially being more of a major threat here in the roster. As a babyface, I think he's gone as far as he can go. There's not many more matchups he can do. He's kind of floundering a little bit. If we turn him heel, he could be one of our top menacing heels. We don't have a heel in the main event that, you know, is a big guy that's, you know, kind of that dominant role. So Miro could certainly fill that role for us. And be a bit of a factor in that way. So 79 for that one. So he's cutting good promos. He's got 74 popularity. Might be time to really pull the trigger on Miro and really see what he can do. Jon Moxley took on Ethan Page in a 72 rated match. So a bit of a tease for what's to come with the Men of the Year and the Wild Things. 81 for Mox, 41 for Ethan Page. Great match. Really, really, really good match. So a way to kind of get these two teams in the mix here and show us what we'll see going forward. So a solid match here, and we're trying to put over Ethan Page by having him lose, even though, you know, yeah, he took the loss, but a really high quality match can always help put him over a little bit. Adam Page says he's confident that he can beat Park despite the loss. We had the Private Party involved in this segment as well. They're apologizing to Adam Page because obviously they took that loss recently against Death Triangle on Rampage. So a bit of a follow-up to the Rampage there. And Private Party being affiliated with Adam Page, it's a bit of a different mix, but, you know, the three guys that like to have a drink, like to enjoy themselves. So, you know, it's a loose affiliation that may be able to benefit Private Party a little bit. Okay, our main event was Chris Jericho and Jake Hager taking on Darby Allin and Malakai Black, an 80 rated match. I did not expect this. Jake Hager was pretty good, 67, that's pretty good for Jake Hager. Chris Jericho off his game, I feel, 79. Malakai Black, 80, wow. Now, apparently he seemed off his game, but Darby Allin and Malakai Black have great chemistry when teaming with each other. Oh my god, we've hit the jackpot. Here we go. This is going to be our new great duo. Great chemistry. Darby Allin performed at 59 as well. This is huge. Darby and Malakai pick up the win. Jericho takes another loss thanks to Jake Hager getting pinned. So this could be really big for us. Darby and Malakai as a duo could be huge. Obviously, I love the Darby and Sting duo in real life, but in our game, Sting is, you know, the GM basically. So Malakai is a good replacement, and it kind of works. And this is a way where the team can feature more. They can be on TV more together and gives Malakai a bit more depth to his character. So I like it. I like it, and it's going to work really well with this great chemistry. So an 80 rated match is very, very positive. Post-match, Chris Jericho is absolutely furious at Jake Hager, but he's blaming Sammy Guevara for the loss because Sammy Guevara was not his tag team partner tonight. You know what I mean? That's fair enough. Jericho and Sammy Guevara, that was the team for the Inner Circle. That was the team that won the tag team championships, and Sammy Guevara bailed on him for his own match against Matt Hardy instead. So Jericho is furious, an 83 rated segment here. So something is going to go down here very soon between Sammy and Chris Jericho. And what went down tonight is an 82 rated edition of Dynamite. Really good stuff. We had a lot of the top guys feature, even though it wasn't big matches other than the main event. We had, Moxley getting a win over a mid-card guy. Sammy and Matt, on paper was a pretty big match, but obviously Adam Page and Peter Avalon, that's not a huge match, but still really performed well. So we kind of got a huge rating with 82 without really giving away a lot, which is a huge plus. That's always what you want to do. You want to have a great show without giving away your best stuff. And that's what we were able to do here tonight. Quick look at the rating, 82 rated as we said, 1.37 TV rating, over 1 million viewers again. So we are starting to really grow, not just as a company, but as a television product as well. NXT, 641,000 viewers, 73 rated show. Starting to really get away from NXT a little bit as well. Our quality is much better. Ring of Honor, they're at a 65 rated show, so that's interesting. Then producing some decent quality stuff as well. So really all around positive stuff there. Want to take a look at Darby Allin. Obviously, he picked up a big win in a tag team match with Chris Jericho. So Jericho did fall a little bit here. He has fallen from, it was at 85 at one point, the start of the month. Now, he's in high 70s. He's actually had a fair big drop. So I'm a little bit concerned for Chris. Darby Allin, he's now to the 50s. So start of the month, he was at 43. Now, he's at 49.50. I mean, that's a huge plus for Darby Allin. This combination now with Malakai, I feel could be a really hot act going forward. Darby Allin just needs some popularity, and Jericho putting over Darby Allin, not directly, but certainly does help. Jake Hager was the one who probably put him over, and Jake Hager, well, didn't really lose any popularity. He lost, I don't even know if he lost anything at all. So it's a positive anyways for Jake Hager. And he's not a guy that I'm looking to push, so I don't really care if he loses anything. So Malakai, well, his popularity is surging, as we know. 72 at the start of the month. Now he's got 78 in the southeast, 76 in the other areas. Yeah, he's really, really doing well in terms of his popularity gain. In terms of his in-ring performances, they're so-so. They're up and down, but getting an 80 this week with Darby gives me a lot of hope that he is going to turn it around. Maybe we just needed to find a different, different role for him, a different fit. Maybe he and Darby together is that fit that we're looking for. So huge plus from me with that. And Darby Allin gaining a lot of popularity is great because I want to try and make him, well, a main event level guy. But we've got a lot of work to do. And we've been floundering around with Darby for far too long. He hasn't really gotten to where we wanted him to get to. We need to step it up. We need to get him there ASAP. And this might be the combination that gets us over the line. Alright, AEW Dark, let's jump into it. On the pre-show, TNT took on Reynolds and Silver for 33. Best of the match was John Silver with 37, and the Dark Order picked up the win. We had the Factory cutting a promo for 35 as well. We had Penelope Ford and Jamie Hayter teaming up here to take on Hirsch and Julia. We did this to see what we had with the Penelope Ford and Jamie Hayter team. Is it a team that may work? They both performed at 33. So there is some good signs there that this could be a duo, and we could potentially create a group out of this going forward. The Inspiration opened up the main show of Dark this week with a promo, 46 rated, as they talk about how they're going to be the best tag team in the world, and kind of advancing that storyline with Velvet and Rhodes. Good stuff there. The Hardys took on the Wingman for 53. We had Jeff 76, Matt 68, Peter Avalon was good, 46, and Ryan Nemeth 30. Look, I'm kind of struggling with the Hardy Boys. There's not a lot I've really got going for them, so I'm at this point where I might be just having them in matches on a frequent basis, kind of just running through some of the lower end tag teams, having hopefully decent to good matches, and trying to elevate some teams that way. and then when we come across an opportunity to get them in a high-profile feud, we'll do that. There are definitely some feuds we could go with. I think the Lucha Bros and the Hardys could have a really good feud. That'd be a pretty solid match there. Obviously, Proud and Powerful and the Hardys would be good. We've done the FTR feud. We've done the Young Bucks feud. So we've done some of the bigger ones. Now we have to try and look at using some of the mid-level teams to take them on and potentially have the Hardys lose to them as well. Jade Cargill cuts a promo on Camille for 35. So good stuff there from Jade. Ricky Starks defeated Lee Johnson for 41. Ricky 47, Lee 22. So Ricky's in a really good position to kind of strike and get himself in that point where he's going to be a major player in our division, and trying to get him competing a little bit more, just kind of beating some of the low-end guys, racking up some wins, racking up some momentum to help him out and make that process a little easier for him. Serena Debbs demands a chance to show how great she is. So we're kind of planting the seeds here for Serena and Ruby Soho. So we're having, potentially Ruby Soho debut soon. And maybe some sort of open challenge or something like that from Serena. She wants some competition, and maybe Ruby will appear that way. Powerhouse Will Hobbs defeated Jack Evans for 36. Similar here with the Ricky Starks situation. We wanted Will Hobbs to feature and get him a win to build some momentum. He still doesn't have enough popularity though for the fans to be invested in him, which is a real shame. We've worked so hard. I think he just needs that one major victory. So I'm not sure who he could beat to put him over that way, but I think he needs one big win to kind of get him from being in the lower mid-card of hell into the mid-card. I don't know if it's a great place to be in the mid-card at the moment, but it's better than being in the lower, under 40 popularity range. That's tough to be in at the moment. Best Friends say they're not intimidated by Team Taz, not going to back down from them. 48 for that one. So Team Taz and Best Friends currently in a feud. And our main event was Christian Cage and Frankie Kazarian for 66. Wanted to give Christian a win. He's been out of the loop a little bit since losing to Adam Page. A win here over Kazarian is good for both guys. Kazarian put on a good performance, having a good match, might help him out a little bit, and Christian gets a win that he needs. 76 though for Christian. His performances have been really, really top level. Doing well. 66 rated match gives us a 52 rated edition of Dark. Nothing too major on this one, just trying to get some guys that need it some wins. Okay, Rampage, let's jump into it. And we have a World Championship contract signing, which is interrupted by MJF and Chris Jericho. So it was meant to be Sammy Guevara and Cody Rhodes making their Grand Slam match official. Well, Sting was obviously there. He's the GM. He's over there to make sure it all goes down to plan. It didn't quite work out that way with MJF. He has to have his say about it. And of course, Chris Jericho, he's upset too at Sammy Guevara after what's been going on there. So Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho going back and forth, Cody and MJF going back and forth, lots of verbiage there, and a good segment overall, 99 rated. Alright, we had the Super Elite teaming up to take on Best Friends in a 62 rated match. We had Anderson and Gallows teaming up with the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks were the better out of the match, of course, 81 and 82 apiece. Best Friends didn't quite hold up their end of the match. Orange Cassidy, 52, he was the best on their team. Wheeler Yuta, 35, we kind of stuck him in there. He was always going to struggle a little bit, but did okay. In the end, Brian Cage interrupted the match, and that helped advance the Team Taz and Best Friends storyline. Taz on commentary as well, and he screwed over Best Friends there and allowed the Super Elite to pick up an easy win. Post-match, in the backstage locker room, CM Punk says he doesn't have any options in AEW for a partner, but he'll fight alone if he has to. So CM Punk cutting a promo there, kind of letting everyone know, look, I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find someone to team up with in time for Grand Slam. There's no one in AEW who wants to team with me. That's pretty clear. I'm an outsider here. I don't know many people here. So it's going to be tough for me to find a partner. 88 for that one. Eddie Kingston actually lost to Ethan Page in a 57 rated match. So here we wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to try and put over Ethan Page. I used Eddie Kingston as the sacrificial lamb in a way. I had Eddie Kingston lose here thanks to Dan Lambert interfering. It was a flash pinfall. It was a tainted win. We did all the right things to try and stop the bleeding a little bit for Kingston. But I had him lose to Ethan Page because I want to try and put Ethan Page up the card a little bit. He's at the moment, he's teetering towards that mid-card to lower mid-card level. I want to try and get him away from the low 40s into the mid 40s and beyond, because he's performing pretty well. So I think he's a good chance for this Men of the Year tag team to really become something for us. Eddie Kingston, he's going to gain a lot of popularity by being Jon Moxley's partner, and he already has. He's gone from low 40s into the 50s now. So he's got a bit of popularity to give, and I'm sure he'll gain it back pretty comfortably, whereas it's a little bit harder for Ethan Page to gain popularity. So I'm not too concerned about Eddie. I don't even know if he'll lose too much out of this loss, but I wanted to try and put over Ethan Page a little bit here and make the Men of the Year look good heading into their tag team match at Grand Slam. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, they helped run off Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. So post-match, the Men of the Year wanted to fight a little bit longer. Well, that's not going to happen with the Wild Things making sure of it. So 51 for that one. Not so great. They're kind of hurting the storyline a little bit, but that's okay. We'll get it back. Main event was pretty good. Adam Page and Penta L0 in a 77 rated match. Adam Page, 80 rated. Penta, 58, didn't quite hang in there. We tried to have this as a steal the show. We wanted these guys to go all out, give everything they've got to make this a great match. Adam Page obviously was great. Penta got a little bit tired. It was about an 18-minute match, probably a little bit too long for him. But look, a good match in the end. Adam Page gets a big win, makes him look good, heading into his TNT Championship match with Park at Grand Slam. In the end, 72 rated edition of Rampage, the main event kind of saving the show a little bit here. Not too bad in the end. Okay, post edition of Rampage, let's have a look. We did over 1 million viewers for this one. On TNT itself, not a bad rating. We had 750,000, so pretty strong numbers we're actually doing here. So I'm pretty happy with how our ratings are going, and that's obviously on the back of what we've had in the last couple of months, and that is quite a big growth across all areas in the game. So we're doing pretty well in that way, and that's allowed us to get those stronger ratings that we haven't been able to accomplish all that much. But here's the deal. Just a week away from having our Grand Slam pay-per-view. Some of our storylines looking solid. Park and Page is looking good. Cody and MJF, which is now, of course, Sammy Guevara is involved there. That's doing really well. FTR and Jurassic Express needs a little bit more happening before we get there. Camille and Jade Cargill, that's okay. This Malachi Black Inner Circle situation is quite interesting. Obviously, Sammy Guevara is heavily involved in all of this. So what's going to happen there? So looking forward to seeing that play out. The Men of the Year and the Wild Things, that's dipped away a little bit. We need maybe a couple of good promos from the Wild Things to get this back on track. CM Punk in the Kenny Omega or CM Punk in the Elite storyline is doing fantastic. It's 93 heat. That is awesome. So we're really looking good there. So I'm looking forward to that one. Obviously, this Brandy Rhodes Red Velvet versus Inspiration storyline is doing pretty well as well. 47, that's really good for the women. Serena and Ruby, that's just starting. And Team Taz and Best Friends, not bad. 59, the tag match we had on Rampage helped it out a little bit there. So it should be a pretty solid card Rampage. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not overly concerned that it's gonna be bad or anything like that. I think we've got a really strong couple of matches in mind. I think the main event won't be the Sammy Guevara and Cody Rhodes match. I think it will be the Young Bucks and CM Punk match. I think that has to main event. It's going to be a big surprise, which is obviously going to be the inclusion of Bryan Danielson as CM Punk's tag team partner. That's going to be a big, big match, a big moment, and I think that could be... Well, the Young Bucks perform around the low 80s, so it has enough there that this could be match of the year for us. I don't know if it'll hit around 90. That'd be probably being a little bit optimistic, but there is a chance that it could get that far. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how that all plays out. Quick little look at Eddie Kingston. Obviously, he suffered a loss. He's around high 40s in most areas. It doesn't look like he really suffered too much of a loss despite losing. Ethan Page, though, moving up the ranks. He was around 38 in most areas. Well, he's now moved up to 41 and 44 in a couple of other areas. So that's a really positive situation we've got there. We didn't have Eddie Kingston lose anything, but Ethan Page actually gains quite a bit. He's now away from the 30s. You don't want to be in the 30s. Get him away from there. get him into the 40s, and that's where he finally is, with Scorpio Sky already being there. This tag team now could be a factor for us, so that worked out pretty well. And even if they lose to the Wild Things, which they will, it's not really that bad, because in the end, they still get a bit of notoriety. They've been able to move up the card a little bit, which is a win-win for us. So we've been able to try and create a decent little mid-card tag team for us going forward, which is a real positive. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are 8 days away, just over a week away from Grand Slam in game time, so tune in for next time to watch the go-home show before we get to Grand Slam. Looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really exciting show. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe to see more. I'll see you in the next one.